All right, I think you guys can hear me and see me. Welcome to day 13. Can you believe it? We're at day 13 already. This morning's affirmation is I communicate from my heart and the right people are resonating with me now. And this affirmation will be great for either people who want to attract ideal clients in your business or in your career, or people who want to attract partners. It can be used for either one. And I want to talk for a minute a little bit about resonance because I was working with someone last night on this topic of how to attract your ideal clients and what might be blocking you from doing that. And one of the things that I often visualize is people like literally coming out of the woodwork, coming out of nowhere and finding my work. And it's kind of funny because if you look at like the back end kind of like of my website, my business, everything is not perfect. Like lots of the programs that I host aren't on there. Like it's not perfect. It's not necessarily easy for people to find me sometimes, but it's just the way I work. I'm not really like technologically advanced in a way, but I always work from my heart, speak from my heart, and believe that people will hear me from my heart. And so I thought I was trying to decide what I should talk about today. And before I came on, these two cards popped out. I'm just going to come on so I can see. Alicia says hi. So it actually told me when you were up and running today. Yay, you're here. I'm so glad. Say hi when you get here, you guys. I'm so glad you're here live. So when I tuned in, these two cards came out, abundance and communication, which for me meant that when we have the courage to communicate our heart's work or express ourselves creatively, abundance always follows. And I know that's true for me. Like anytime I'm stuck, if I just take some kind of action, it gets the flow of creativity going again. And then it starts to kind of heal that stuck feeling. I was reading this morning a quote from Esther and Jerry Hicks, and it was talking about the way to get out of resistance isn't through more struggle and effort. It's through distraction and forget what the other one was, but it made me laugh because I've had my coaches tell me before, like I've been stuck in a certain area of my life, and I'm like, I send them a message, what do I do? And they'll like give me some exercise to do, and I'm like, follow the exercise perfectly, and I'm like, oh wow, that exercise worked. And I asked them like, why does it work? And they're like, there's nothing special to the exercise. You just need to distract your brain when it's on a spiral of things aren't working, I'm stuck, I'm frustrated. You literally just need to interrupt the pattern and create a new one. So that's really cool that what we do with EFT is that we distract ourselves from the thoughts of, oh, I'm not sure, the fears, the uncertainties. We distract them and we head in a new direction every day. So anyway, I'm really excited for today's message. I communicate from my heart and the right people are resonating with me now. This can be in your business. This can be in your relationships. It's just knowing and feeling that just by you being you is enough, that you can go out in the world, you can activate your energy, and the right people will see you and hear you in wild and wondrous ways. Okay, so let's get tapping this morning. And we're going to do any resistance, releasing any resistance that you might have. So we're going to start by tapping on the side of the hand and say, I give myself permission this morning to release any fear or resistance I have right now around believing that the right people can see me and hear me. And I love and accept myself deeply and completely. Good job. And say, even though I might be putting myself out there, I feel frustrated and worried that the right people aren't seeing me. I forgive myself for believing this now. And I love and accept myself anyway. Good job, everyone. And say, especially because I have a big vision. I need the right people to see and hear my message. I release any parts of me now that are holding myself back. And I give myself permission to be seen and heard in a new way. All right, let's go to the top of the head and say more and more of the right people are hearing me now. Eyebrow point. People are finding my work in wild and wondrous ways. Side of the eye. People are stumbling across me on Instagram. Underneath the eye. People are finding my posts on Facebook. Underneath the nose. People are telling other people about me. Underneath the mouth. There's a buzz happening in my world. Collarbone point. Everything I'm doing is bringing them towards me now. Underneath the arms. I am ready to be seen in a bigger way. Underneath the chest, but I want to acknowledge any parts of me now, tapping the wrists together, that is afraid of being big. Top of the head. I'm calling forth any parts of me now. Eyebrow point. That is afraid to be seen and felt by more people. Oops, sorry. Side of the eye, any fears that I'm holding on to around this. Underneath the eye. I'm asking them to come forth. Underneath the nose and be released today. Underneath the mouth. Any fears around success. Collarbone point, like I can't handle it. Underneath the arms, like I'm not ready yet. Underneath the chest, I don't know enough. I'm not organized enough. Top of the head, I choose to release them now. Eyebrow point, I am releasing and receiving. Side of the eye, communicating from my heart. Underneath the eye, speaking to those who need me. Underneath the nose, and the right people are resonating with me now. All right, take a nice gentle breath. All right, so some of the affirmations I wrote last night is people see my content, hear my message, and a feeling comes over them that they know they need to work with me. Because I asked someone that I was working with was, how do you know when you want to buy from someone? This tapping is going to end up being about ideal clients, and they responded, I just have a feeling, I just know. And that is what resonance is. It comes from your heart. It's an invisible field that comes out of your heart, that you'll see something, you'll hear something, you'll know something, you'll just know that's for you. And this can also be in relationships, intimate relationships, if you're like dating people and you can feel in your heart space, like, oh yeah, what this person's saying, how they're coming across is really resonating with me, or it's really not. And so creating this visualization today that I show up, I communicate from my heart, the right people are resonating with me now. And really the underwork of all this is noticing any unconscious blocks to success. So I was thinking about this in terms of Instagram, right? If you want to have 12,000 followers, let's say, or 20,000 followers, what is the bad thing that might happen if you have that? And so when we look at subconscious blocks to success, we ask, what's the worst that would happen if I have everything I want? What's the worst that would happen if I have the money that I want, if I had the relationship that I want, if I had the body that I wanted? What bad things might happen? And so you'll hear things like, especially around success, that I can't handle it. I won't be able to keep up. I might not have time for the people that I love? So it's a really great question to write down and journal. What's the worst that would happen if I have everything I want? Then, as always, what is it that I really want? I want a system for success. I want more visibility. I want to be able to travel more. But if I travel more, then maybe I'll be away from my kids. So this is a really important practice to help you kind of pull back the curtain of the unconscious mind and see what's in there that's holding you back. All right. And if you guys have any that come to mind while you're here, please post them below because I can tap on them for you. So we're really going to create this visual of people finding you, right? Like other people sharing your work, like, oh, have you heard about so-and-so and what they're up to? Have you seen, their retreats? Have you seen what she's doing? Or finding you on Instagram, right? Like just scrolling and finding you through a hashtag. So creating this visual in the brain of all the different ways people might find you now. And then what's cool is you'll see that manifest. I often ask people, how did you find me? And they're like, oh, so-and-so shared this thing and I clicked on your name and I watched a video. And, I'll be like, there'll be moments where I'm like, I have no idea where my next client's going to come from. I'll put out an offer and then someone I didn't even know, I have no idea who they are, will just be like, I've been watching you for like a year and now is my time to work with you. And so really remembering that that unattachment to the how, it will get easier as you do this work, this devotion practice that we're doing, it'll get easier to let go, okay? So let's tap again on the side of the hand. So the affirmation, I communicate from my heart and the right people are resonating with me now. So tapping on the side of the hand and say, even though sometimes I feel stuck, it feels like nobody can hear me, or that I don't matter. I love and accept myself anyway. And I'm bringing healing to this now. Even though I want to believe all the right people are hearing me, there's a part of me that likes to hide. And I love and accept this part of me now. Chop everyone and say, even though I might be hiding from my ideal clients or from the people that are meant for me, I love and accept myself anyway. All right, we're going to top of the head and say, clearing out any fears, eyebrow point, that are preventing me from being seen. Side of the eye, any fears that I can't handle success. Underneath the eye, that other people are better than me. Underneath the nose, that I am not enough. Underneath the mouth, I choose to release them this morning. Collarbone point, letting them go and making way for the new. Underneath the arms, more and more of my message underneath the chest is being seen, heard, and understood now. Wrist point, people are resonating with my work. Top of the head, there's a buzz happening in my business. Eyebrow point, I can feel new energy coming in now. Side of the eye, excitement is brewing within my being. Underneath the eye, and everything is finally coming together. Underneath the nose. So I trust that when I'm ready. Underneath the mouth, I'll release any resistance I have. Collarbone point, to being seen in a bigger way. Underneath the arms. And today I give myself permission. Underneath the chest, to take action with what's on my heart right now. Wrist point, and share and express it with the world. All right, so taking a nice comfortable breath. So the two cards, right, were communication, and abundance. And anytime we start that flow, whether we share a quote, we share a thought, we just start to put ourselves out there a little bit more, the right people can find you, abundance flows. That's what's been true for me. It might not be true for everyone, but anytime I start to just take imperfect inspired action, it creates that flow of creativity again. So I'd love to know anything that's coming up for you in this round. And the really interesting thing is, if you're trying to attract ideal clients, there's a part of you that does, if it's not working, there's usually a part of you that doesn't want them for some reason. Maybe you're like, if I have more clients, I'm going to be too tired. Or if I have more clients, I'm not going to have enough time for my kids. So same question, what's the worst that would happen if I have everything I wanted? And that's the unconscious blocks to success that you want to dive into and tap a little deeper on. Sorry, I have an alarm that keeps going off. Okay. So last round, I wanted to add one more thing in here. I think I can't think of it on the top of my head. Anyway, resonance, right? So we were talking about resonance in the heart space, and like, what frequency are you resonating at every day? Like, asking yourself that question. What raises your frequency? So for instance, yesterday I went for a drive in the sun, and I had blasted music, and then went for a walk with my dog, and that I could just feel the magnetism, right, coming out of my soul. And that's the visualization we want to spend a bit of time with in the morning. If you're doing any kind of work in the morning, it's just like, what am I resonating at today? Is it a lower frequency? Is it a higher frequency? What do I need to do in order to get that going again? All right. So we're actually just going to go to the top of the head and say, I'm giving myself permission today. Eyebrow point. To clear out any old thoughts. Side of the eye, any old feelings. Underneath the eye, any old energy. Underneath the nose that is cluttering my energy field. Underneath the mouth, clearing out any people, collarbone point, that have been dampening my power. Underneath the arms, I am feeling more and more turned on. Underneath the chest, tapped in. This point and tuned up today. Top of the head, I give myself permission to get out of my head and into my heart. Eyebrow point. In my heart, I know everything is going to be okay. Side of the eye, even better than I ever imagined. Underneath the eye, and that the right people are hearing me, seeing me, and feeling me now. Underneath the nose, I welcome these new people into my world. Underneath the mouth, I can feel the excitement we have for each other. Collarbone point, I feel whole and complete inside. Underneath the arms, excited to be of service to the world. Underneath the chest, so I give myself permission to trust my intuition today. Wrist point, to let it guide me to the next right action. Top of the head, trust what I need to say. Eyebrow point, and knowing that it is enough. Side of the eye, all these little things that I've been doing underneath the eye are building me closer to my bigger vision. Underneath the eye, all the little puzzle pieces are coming together now. And I am feeling unstoppable. Awakening the unstoppable force within me this morning. Knowing that I am being seen, felt, and heard by the right people now. Nice deep breath. All right, you guys, good work today. So it's really it's really less about what you need to do and and more about who you need to be. And I say this a lot of the times, but prioritize energy, then take action, right? Make sure that you are checked in with yourself. If you're feeling in your head, get into your heart. Your heart, let love lead. Your heart knows the way. Trust your intuition, even if it's like not making sense. You're like, I don't want to go outside. I shouldn't go outside right now. I need to be inside working on my computer. Let your intuition lead the way today. And I'd love to see the magic that happens from it. All right. Have a beautiful day, you guys. And remember, I communicate from the heart, and the right people are resonating with me now. We'll see you tomorrow.